Hello, everybody. Suzanne Kellner-Zinck with Unhappiness Hypnosis here to speak about overwhelm and unhappiness in the C-suite. A lot of people will find folks who look up to the folks in the C-suite because they seem to have made it, certainly to the top of the corporate world. But the question is, what did they pay to get there? I've worked with some of these folks over the years, and I can tell you this. They work outrageous hours. They have to answer to their boards. It's always about the next quarterly income that they need to meet. And they may have bosses that are assholes. I had one client many years ago who, as a CEO, had a boss who treated her like crap. He put her through hell. And the ridiculous thing about this was because she knew how to get things through the FDA. She had been working in medical devices for decades. She knew her job in how to get things done in the United States. Now, this particular company she worked at was out of Amsterdam. So her boss really didn't know anything about the FDA, the rules and regs, and how to do anything there. And maybe there was some jealousy there. But for about a period of a year and a half, she was put through hell and then finally fired. So ridiculous. It took her a while to figure out what kind of job she wanted to have after that one as a CEO, and she decided she didn't want to have any bosses over her other than the board of directors, and she wanted to be in a business that cared about the things that she cared about in terms of helping, in this case, get water to people in the developing world who didn't have enough drinkable water. She did find that job. Unfortunately, it didn't last long because that boss was another asshole. Not as bad as the first, but bad enough to move on to another job, which she did find. And she's been in that job for a few years now. CEOs generally do shift jobs every 5 years or so, from what I understand from the research I've done. I've never been a CEO in a company. I don't really believe in corporate America, working in it for these very reasons. And I left it very early in my life, like in my 20s. But I know how to help people to reframe the way that they're looking at life, to be able to get real with the problems that they're having, and to find other options for themselves so they can create a life that works a lot better for them, as happened in the case of this particular CEO. And that's important because no one wants to be treated by crap by their bosses. No one wants to feel so pressured that they don't have any time for their family or friends, or even for themselves, for their self-care. And in the case of this particular CEO, and the first job she had with the first asshole boss, she had an assistant that, while she was gone for 3 to 6 weeks at a time, never put in any time for her to even use the bathroom or have a meal. How insane is that? So that was one of the very first things we talked about. It was like, she works for you. You don't work for her. Tell her what you need and make sure that it's scheduled. How hard is that? I mean, seriously. But this is what happens. They get so involved in their role and what they're expected to do that these things can go by the wayside, and then they wonder why they're miserable. Everyone has a right to be respected, especially in that kind of position. Everyone has a right to feel good about the work that they're doing and to feel there's meaning behind the work. If there's no meaning behind the work you're doing, why do it? Because money's only going to take you so far. And I know many, many people who had a whole lot of money and never did a thing with it that made them happy. Some of them are really miserable people. Many of them died early in life because they put so much effort into work, never did anything to take care of themselves. And in the end, heart disease and suicide took them. So this is a very real problem. So if you're a person who fits this particular situation, I put my calendar in the description below, and contact me. Let's see what we can do to help you out, because seriously, you've earned a life worth living and enjoying, because there's no sense in living a life that you're not enjoying. Not really. As always, I thank you for spending your time. Till next time. Bye-bye.